word for word, minus the names. Here's yet another example. Again, pretty much word for word the same. Are you f***ing kidding me? They don't even deserve to be called a corny Scooby-Doo villain, because this was just dumb. I feel like I'm becoming a fanfiction drama channel at this point. It's like, alright, what happened this time? Well, you saw from the title of this video, about a month ago, an author was caught ripping fics off of AO3 and publishing them as her own original books on Amazon. The author in question is Layla Moran. No, not the Member of Parliament, although part of me wonders, just putting on the tinfoil hat for a second, if the pseudonym was chosen to kind of muddy the waters and obfuscate their searchability. It could very well be a common name as well, or just pure coincidence. Or maybe it really is Layla Moran. Making your romance novel pen name the same as your government official name? They'll never know. It's genius. Layla Moran, while not a big mainstream author by any means, was still known and had fans in the indie LGBT book space. People enjoyed her stuff, and yes, I'm so sorry this is happening during Pride Month, but she did write MLM and WLW stories. And by write, I mean copy and pasted them from good old archive of our own. The situation became known through a post on the MM Romance Books subreddit. This was posted by a friend on behalf of one of the afflicted fanfiction authors whose fanfics were plagiarized by Layla Moran. Cause yeah, turns out that multiple writers from multiple fandoms were screwed over here. Hello, today I found out that Layla Moran has plagiarized 3 fanfics that I wrote and posted publicly for free over the last few years and has published them as her own works and is selling them and making money from them. I've spent most of today collecting excerpts, filling out reports, and generally wondering what to do in this sort of situation. Right off the bat, I do know that some folks are probably gonna be like, well, I mean, romance novels across the board are pretty formulaic, pretty tropey, and generally follow the same sort of plot beats. Regardless of their setting or their dressing, there's a few staple premises that always pop up. Are you sure this isn't a case of that? Well, it's one thing to have a Bug's Life and Ants or Megamind and Despicable Me situation going on. It's another thing entirely, though, when there's passages that are word for word the same, just with the character names and the descriptors switched out. Yeah, it's that shameless. People have posted on this subreddit saying generally they like Layla Moran's ebooks, but that there are many editing errors and internal inconsistencies. This is partly because I write non-baited fanfic, which means that it's not proofread or edited by anyone other than the author, and share it for fun. It is also partly because Layla Moran seems to have just done a sort of find and replace for character names and descriptions, leading to errors. One such error that has come up multiple times in reviews is the character Diarmuid or Diarmuid? Someone on The Rancher and His Mail Order Husband wonders, at 45%, who the heck is Diarmuid? It's like the author changed a character's name and missed this one. Needed a beta reader. Diarmuid is the name of the main character in the movie Pilgrimage, and is one of the fandoms I write for. This is an excerpt from the author's fic Bluebells and Daylilies and Wild Roses Running Rampant, and it reads eerily similar to this passage from Layla Moran's book, The Rancher's Mail Order Husband. While not word for word copy and pasted from the fic, you can't deny that the entire progression goes beat for beat the same. And if some people are like, okay, well, yeah, sure, they're really similar, but they're not word for word like you said, then oh, just take a look at this next example from Layla Moran's The Beauty and His Beast, compared to the fanfic author Enduring Paradox's fic An Invitation to Happiness. Word for word, minus the names. This obviously is a really scummy thing to do to someone, taking their creative works and claiming them as your own when they're very clearly not. But I can't help but laugh a bit too, because Layla Moran did a bad thing so badly. Again, it's lazy. She just copy and pasted stuff from AO3 and changed the names and some of the wording, and that's it. Put in the work so we could at least acknowledge the effort that went into the heist, you know? Like, yeah, it'd still be really but at least we could go, alright, well, I mean, they tried and would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for your pesky fanfiction reading friends. But no, Layla Moran doesn't even deserve to be called a corny Scooby-Doo villain, because this was just dumb. Layla Moran has published 3 books that are almost directly lifted from my fanfics. The Beauty and His Beast is plagiarized from An Invitation to Happiness. The Warrior and the Monk plagiarizes the work How Rich the Earth, How Bright the Stars, and the rancher's mail-order husband plagiarizes the work Bluebells and Daylilies and Wild Roses Running Rampant. And all of these fics are from the Pilgrimage movie fandom. All she's done is change the names and rearrange the order of words, and in one case, apparently changed a hen to a rooster to a horse, and back again. Here's yet another example, again, pretty much word for word the same. Are you f***ing kidding me? After this post went up, in just 3 hours, other fanfic authors came forward with their own works that were also plagiarized by Layla. A spreadsheet was made to keep track of everything, and Layla's books were traced back to various fics written by various authors across various fandoms on AO3. We've got Pilgrimage, The Old Guard, Dragon Age Inquisition, Supernatural, Rhett and Link RPF, Fire Emblem, Les Mis, Marvel, The Order 1886, Daredevil, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., an original work, RuPaul's Drag Race, Star Wars, and The Walking Dead. An original work. That's awful. Like, imagine you read a novel and you're like, okay, I'm not sure what to do with this yet, so I'm just gonna stick it on AO3. And then someone takes it to make money off of it. And that's not even addressing the people that want to revamp their fics someday to publish them as original works. You might notice that there's 2 names listed here, Layla Moran and Ray Luca. Well, it turns out that Layla Moran had another pseudonym that she used specifically for WLW books. Layla Moran was for the male stories, Ray Luca was for the sapphic stories. Good God, I'm amazed that it somehow keeps getting worse, and I can tell you as an author myself, Layla has made very, very decent money off of all of this, at least in the range of $7,000 to $10,000, depending on how well her sales did when she ran them. Someone else actually just found a Les Mis fic of all things that has almost an identical summary to Moran's upcoming second part of the Mail Order Bride series. Wow, I just learned that she plagiarized my fic under the name Ray Luca. It's like almost word for word. I didn't want to believe it at first, but the opening line is literally word for word. I'm completely in shock. Honestly, it's making me want to publish the rest of my shit, because if this lying grifter can make money off of my work, why can't I? Hi there, author of the Barcelona Bubble here, which I suppose is called 3 Days to Fall in Love by this author. I'm actually devastated. I can't believe this has been happening for a year under my nose. The listing has now been taken down, but I'd love to pursue some kind of action. I've been working on improving this fanfic for publishing, and this kind of thing can definitely get in the way of that. Hi guys, I woke up to a message this morning informing me that I'm one of the affected authors. Ray Luca plagiarized one of my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fanfics for her novel When Summer Meets Autumn. The writing sample available on Amazon is almost identical to my fic, just changed to female-female from male-female. And I'm absolutely sickened that someone found my little fic in my little fandom and has stolen it for profit. Oh my god, I'm devastated. I thought she was just prolific with the amount of books she's been able to put out. I am so sorry as an author and also a fanfic writer. I'm heartbroken. I believe this can be reported to Amazon and her account will be taken down, especially with the evidence you've provided. Thank you, I appreciate the support. We have a really small, tight-knit fandom, so we're all going to bat for Enduring Paradox. It's awful what Layla's done. She definitely owes Enduring Paradox a huge apology, and also maybe all of the money she made off of her work. We write for joy and fun and for fandom. To have it stolen for profit is the ultimate betrayal, but also I will now be going and reading the fanfic. Now, thanks to this whole thing being blown up and shared across other subreddits and social media platforms, folks were reporting Layla's books on Goodreads and Amazon en masse. A barrage of 1-star reviews came in, letting other people know that, hey, these books are actually plagiarized fanfics, don't buy them, and it got to the point where Goodreads actually had to limit reviews in general. As of right now, it appears that most of the books have either been removed from Amazon, or at the very least are out of print, thank goodness. Layla also had multiple audiobook deals for her books, but thankfully it does appear that those aren't happening anymore. Holy shit. I read Married to the Fae and then later Mail Order Husband and genuinely thought to myself how they seemed like they were written by different authors. They just had wildly different writing styles and tone. This is awful. We'll definitely be checking out the original fics to support the authors. Just chiming in to say that given the ones I've read, I hope the original poster looks into publishing because I enjoyed them and would love to give credit to the actual author. I discovered this author recently and really enjoyed The Warrior and the Monk and The Beauty and His Beast. I even gave them 5-star reviews, and now it turns out she didn't write it herself. Can I just say that this author is extremely stupid? If you're too lazy to come up with your own stories, at least vary the sources you steal from. As it is now, you immediately give yourself away as a thieving, uninspired loser. Big yikes. I wrote in my review of The Prince and the Commander by Layla Moran that it sounds exactly like X Dorian fanfic from Dragon Age Inquisition, with the names barely changed, and now I wonder if I was closer to the truth than I thought. There are even names like Trevelyan, a person who was in the game as a potential name for the protagonist, and Redcliffe, a village that features in 2 Dragon Age games. I wouldn't be surprised if all of her works were stolen from fanfic, really tarnishing her own reputation. Just write your own shit, man. Oh wow, reading the first page of the book and checking the fanfic, identical. I think she targets rare pairs or stuff from smaller fandoms. In the case I pointed out, X Dorian is a non-canonical pairing. It makes you wonder how many other fanfic writers she's stolen from. Hell, her entire catalog might be stolen. Honestly, this is likely because the writing varies vastly. I was enthralled by the rancher's mail-order husband, only to try another book and be totally flummoxed at the abrupt change in writing style. Fandom is a tight-knit community, and of course, there's going to be a lot of crossover between male-male fic readers on AO3 and male-male published works readers. There was no way this wouldn't eventually come to light. It's madness, so why do it? Did she really think she could get away with this? The fandom might be small, but we are dedicated, and she probably thought nobody would notice what she's done because we're such a small group of readers. But boy, she was wrong. This really blows, because this either means that A, Layla Moran was or is a fan in the fandoms she stole fics from, stealing from the community potluck basically, like, oh yeah, no, I totally made this butter chicken, definitely not Janet. Oh, you want a plate? $5. Or B, she's just a scammer that saw gay fanfiction as an easy target and was like, alright, I can make money off of this. Honestly, she's probably both. As a fellow Pilgrimage fan, we're a small fandom, so it's even more egregious. Is Moran another fan who decided to steal the works of Enduring Paradox, or was she actively searching for small fandoms thinking no one would notice? Either way, it's gut-wrenching to think about. Like all the different media in the world, and you chose a fandom with less than 400 fanfics to choose from, plagiarism is always evil, but this is just devious. Very likely she thought the size of the fandom meant less people would notice or would be able to get enough eyes on a call-out if she were caught, to be honest. And like, yeah, that makes sense on some level, but also small fandoms tend to operate like small towns in that everybody knows everyone to some degree. It's like that scene from Spider-Man. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. With bigger fandoms, you run the risk of more people have read a specific fic or at the very least know of it, but also fics can tend to slip through the cracks when there's a lot of other fan works being poured in constantly. I guess if you're a plagiarist, then there's pros and cons to which fandoms you're gonna rip from. The Reddit poster and friend of Enduring Paradox, the fanfiction author who first noticed that their works were being plagiarized, also posted about everything on Tumblr, with tips on how to report the books and help this whole situation. Layla Moran, if you follow me and you're reading this, you have made Pilgrimage fanfic authors who are already so few and far in between feel unsafe to post without you getting your greedy hands on them and trying to take advantage of a small fandom for your own profit. Did you think you would never get caught? My advice to you would be to take down the works yourself before this gets nasty. I was just informed that she's stolen from me too, one of my Dragon Age fics, Tearing Down Your Tower. I wrote and posted it on AO3 in 2022. She's titled her plagiarized work The Prince and the Commander, and she's barely changed anything. It's pretty much identical. Everything from the AU down to the dialogue. So it looks like she's stealing from various fandoms. It's very discouraging and sad. It seems like Layla Moran was on multiple platforms besides Amazon, but thankfully I don't think that she's on them anymore after all the backlash. Apparently, Layla Moran herself was posting in the male-male romance book subreddit, and since this has gone down, her account has been deleted. What is it with people mass ripping off fanfic these days? They think it's easy money. Some even feed actual low read count books to AI to generate their own and sell them in Amazon. This is so unbelievably depressing. Between AI, book bans, queer hate, plagiarists, platforms screwing them over, and everything else they have to fight against. I don't see how legitimate authors have the strength to keep going. This isn't even the first queer romance plagiarism scandal I heard about this weekend. What kind of disgusting person does this? The unfortunate truth is that this is not the first time this has happened. As in, this is not the first time that fanfiction has been ripped off, plagiarized, and published as original books. This happens a lot in male-male romance, and it's always odd to me that people try it because the overlap between fic readers and writers and those who read male-male romance is insanely high. Thieves always get caught eventually. There's been a massive influx of authors, specifically targeting queer romance and doing the same as here, stealing work and churning it through AI, then publishing it on Amazon. They all seem to be the pop-up overnight without pretending to be a real person scam type of plagiarists, but the kind like Layla Moran who actually have the nerve to masquerade as authors and interact with readers, there's been a lot over the past few years. Romilly King, Peyton Hawkins, Victor Alexander, Jerry Cole. I'm sure there's loads more. It seems to happen like clockwork every 6 months or so, and it's likely gonna keep happening. This is my first time seeing one of these types of posts where I actually read 2 of the books in question. This is so horrifying. I hope you and the original authors are able to get these books taken down and her account banned. Fanfic authors are so constantly worried about their stories being scraped for AI model training these days, it feels like we sometimes forget people are just as likely and able to steal and profit off of your original works. The fanfic author who first noticed this was happening posted about their experience further on Tumblr. On Sunday, a very kind reader commented on my fic, An Invitation to Happiness, asking if I'd published it as an original novel, because if not, an ebook they were reading, The Beauty and His Beast by Layla Moran, was extremely similar. I went to the ebook's Goodreads page, read the summary, and thought, well, there are similarities, but... And then I scrolled down to look at the reviews and saw that people were describing exact scenes from my fic. I went to Layla Moran's author page on Goodreads and immediately recognized 2 more titles, The Rancher's Mail Order Husband and The Warrior and the Monk, as my other 2 multi-chapter pilgrimage fics, Bluebells and Daylilies and Wild Roses Running Rampant, and How Rich the Earth, How Bright the Stars. My heart dropped. Those 3 ebooks were some of her most recent works, and they'd been published over the course of the last few months. The Warrior and the Monk was the first of mine she took. Its publication date was listed as December 1st, 2024. What are you going to do about your own fics? Nothing. All of my fics were and are written for my own enjoyment, and for the enjoyment of those who read them. In the past few years, there's been a lot of discussion about AI scraping and locking fics to prevent them from being used to train AI. But from what it seems here, that doesn't stop someone from joining AO3, copy-pasting an entire work into a document and using the Find and Replace tool, and then using AI to rearrange some of the words or add a few more paragraphs, and then publishing and passing it off as their own. So that sucks and will always be in the back of my mind now, but at the same time, I think the reason I found all of this out and what might have been a factor in how those 3 initial ebooks were pulled so quickly is because my fics were posted publicly for anyone to read. They weren't archive locked. A lot of people commented that at the very least, this proves that my writing could get published. That was also sort of a silver lining because I think like many fic writers, one day I would like to be a published author. However, if I ever get something published, it will be an original work. I will never edit and republish any of my long-form fics as novels because they weren't written with that goal in mind. I write fics because I love the source material so much that I want to play around with the characters and the themes and create alternate universes, and just have fun. And I like sharing that with others. If someone reads one of my fics and likes it and it makes their day a little better, then I'm happy. And that's why my fics will continue to be available for anyone to read for free. If any of the fic authors whose works got plagiarized by Layla Moran / Ray Luca happen to be watching this, I just want to say that I am so sorry this happened to you, and I really hope the situation hasn't hindered your love and passion for writing for the craft. And if you continue to create, just know that the fanfiction community has got your back. If you'd like to help support the fanfiction authors whose works got plagiarized, I've linked the spreadsheet with their AO3 accounts and fics in the description, so go ahead and leave them some kudos and nice comments if you're able to. So I guess the big question moving forward would be, what can we do to make sure something like this doesn't happen again? And I really don't have an easy answer, unfortunately. As someone who has been writing a lot of fanfic lately on my free time, It's not very encouraging, especially since I haven't even posted anything yet, but I'm like, do I even want to? But the thing is, yes, I do still want to post what I've been working on because I want to share the joy and talk about it. Creative works, no matter the medium, unfortunately are always going to be at risk of being exploited by uncreative thieves. And fanfiction being publicly available for free makes these thieves brazenly believe that they can do this with no repercussions. But fanfiction is a community activity, writing and reading and sharing it with other fans. And as others have already stated, no matter what fandom you pluck fics from, if you didn't write it, you're gonna be caught. It's inevitable and only a matter of time. Word of mouth spreads quickly online, and plagiarism claims aren't taken lightly. It only takes one person being like, hey, wait a minute, I've seen this before, to start a domino effect. You have rights over your creative works, so if the situation pops up again, whether it's Layla Moran making a comeback under a new pen name, or it's another grifter looking to profit off of other people's work, draw attention to it. Plagiarists think they can get away with it because they believe no one will notice or care. Collect and link evidence, like on a spreadsheet or with screenshots. Make and share posts on relevant subreddits and social media. Leave 1-star reviews calling the author out and upvoting other reviews doing the same thing so they'll become more visible. The shame is often enough to get these thieves to back down, take down their works and turn tail, because they want to be treated like real authors, and shattering whatever reputation they've built from publishing stolen fics puts an end to that fantasy. You can also report books on Amazon and Goodreads and any other websites hosting the book's information. Filing DMCA takedowns may also be a viable option, and the OTW, the Organization of Transformative Works, aka the parent organization that AO3 falls under, does have a legal team that could help in scenarios like these. Stay aware of fic plagiarism moving forward, and don't let the fear of your creative works being plagiarized stop you from creating. Remember, these people steal because they don't have the creativity or integrity you do. Hell, spite write if you'd like, because it's still gonna be better than anything they try to cook up. I, for one, can't wait to share my brain rot with all of you, and if I can write fanfics, I guarantee you can too. Alright, and with that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. What are your thoughts on all of this? If you're a fanfiction writer, then how would you navigate the situation personally? If you love to read books, then how would you feel if you found out that your favorite book was actually plagiarized fanfiction? Has something like this ever happened to you? As for my own fanfics, I'm currently working on like 8. I feel like a frog hopping back and forth between different lily pads. I can't commit to just finishing one, but I do have something special cooking up that involves writing fanfiction and all of you, so stay tuned. As always, if you'd like to see more fandom and fanfiction and fan culture-esque videos from yours truly, then feel free to subscribe. And if you want to check out my fanfiction recommendation spreadsheet with over 1,000 fanfics on there, as well as watch exclusive videos you can't find on my channel, then head on over to my Patreon or YouTube memberships. Thank you all again so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
안녕.